Hello, my sunflowers. How are you? Well, I hope everything with you today is copacetic. This is the second day of summer. Hello, and welcome to summer solstice. I
Yes.
know we don't give any warnings when we go live, but I wanted to go live to celebrate, and I like coming outside
That's true.
and doing it. So, what do you think, baby? From
Yes, most definitely. It has been storming lately, so that's why we haven't been out.
wicked storm. The thunder has been brutal.
It really has been. So, because of that, that's why we haven't filmed much videos outside lately. So,
Right. So anyway, the lines are open. Are they
yes,
open?
they are open.
If you care to call in, you're welcome. If you care to send a message, you are welcome. So with no further ado, let us get started. I'm going to call this news recap of the week. Now, I can't do everything that went on in the United States, so we just picked certain things that we thought was a highlight.
hmm
So, baby Chrome, what is the first thing we're going to chit chat about?
Well, first off, I guess we can start off what's going on American soil. Kim Kardashian has received some backlash. Like, I mean, when does she not receive backlash? But Kim Kardashian has received some backlash on a post she had made about the deportations or the ICE raids or riots that was going on in LA.
And obviously, it's alleged that she was upset over the backlash that she had. Now, this is the two rules of thought. I don't know because I don't know if this is a Democrat or a Republican or a liberal stance. I don't know.
Okay.
The thoughts are by the what is it the migrants being here. Some want them gone, while others want them to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I come to realize, there are a lot of countries out there now. I got it written, I didn't bring it with me, but I will go get it if necessary. That there are a lot of countries, at least I can name 10, that
Okay.
want Americans out of their country. So I know, I think Ghana is one.
Oh, okay. Mm.
Um, um, El Salvador. I
Okay.
can't name them all, but just to name a few. I can't remember them. I have to go get my paper. Hold on. Keep
Okay.
talking.
Yes, but that just shows you how it is honestly getting serious about how the world views America, period. That they don't even want Americans on their grounds and on their soil. So America and Americans apparently have a bad rep out there that not even countries want us.
I
That's
don't. Yeah, you're right.
so it's kind of shameful
And
on
they're
our
getting
behavior.
off on people that they are getting off on people that are there illegally, that has overstayed their welcome. That I was just looking at news, and this is what I found. You know me, so like I said, I don't know how true it is, but this is what they said. And
Okay.
and and before I name them, I was thinking about this.
Okay.
It is never good to have a whole lot of illegals in your country. I don't care what country you're in,
No.
that they can't pull their weight. Or
Fair enough.
and now I'm thinking, this is just a thought. This is a thought. I also think when other countries see, okay, if you're going to be kicking people out,
Mm-hmm.
then we're going to be kicking people out as well.
Yeah.
If you go, if American, the United States, going to be kicking people out, then we're going to kick people out of our country too. Now, the funniest thing that I observed from what they showed
Yes.
is they were mostly white people
Mm-hmm.
that
That's
has
true.
gone over and left this country by the groves. They don't
Yes.
talk about it, but a lot of people, even blacks, are leaving.
Yes.
But a lot of whites have already been gone for years by the grove, settling down in other countries,
Mm-hmm.
and they want them out. Now, El Salvador, these are people they want out. They're finding reasons. They could just wake up one day and say, get out. They don't want our problem. I guess when you see it
Yes.
If I lived in another country
Mm-hmm.
and I see what America is going through, the United States,
Yes.
I would be mortified because I wouldn't want that happening to my country.
Mm-hmm.
That it's a drain on the system. Now,
Yes.
we're not talking about illegals. This is not talking about people that are legal, that went through the steps to become American citizens. And I think maybe this is what's going on in other countries
Countries.
too.
Yes, surprisingly.
I didn't even know that. Like
Nope.
I said,
Thought it was just an us problem.
listen to this one. Not only is it El Salvador, Haiti. I
Hmm.
was like, I thought Haiti was a rundown country ever since they had that brutal earthquake, and I
Yeah.
thought they didn't recover. But
Mm-hmm.
obviously, Venezuela,
Oh, surprising.
India,
Oh, that's interesting.
Colombia,
Hmm.
um, Guatemala, Honduras, Ghana. I said this word over and over, but I think it's Eritrea and Cambodia.
Oh. Hmm.
And when I saw that, I was like, really?
Mm-hmm.
If you there illegally, or you overstayed your welcome,
Yes.
or if they think you suspicious, if you don't have the right qualifications, if you working illegally,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get deported from these countries. And they're asking Americans that
Yeah.
have not filled their visa to get the hell out. And you see lines of Americans
Yeah.
leaving the country.
You know what this reminds me of? It
Mm-hmm.
reminds me of this TLC show
Mm-hmm.
about marrying abroad, or like marrying somebody for the sake of being able to maybe move into the country. It just makes me think about what about those couples where the easiest way to get a visa or access to a country is
Right.
marrying someone that's a citizen.
or or you don't like it where you are in America, and then you go through another country.
Hmm.
And it's a staggering amount of people that are leaving the country of all colors now. But they're talking that there has been so many people who have left the country years ago.
Yes.
So I don't know what to make of it. I have no judgment, but that's the countries that are putting their foot down. And I guess America is one of those countries that
Yes.
I can put the thing down. They're saying you illegal, you didn't go through the proper channels, get out. And I guess a lot of people feel as though it's inhumane. A lot of people feel like they've been here for 20 years, they've been here for 30 years, 15 years, 10 years, they have children. My thing is, if I'm gonna go to another country,
Hmm.
and I know I want to stay there, I'm gonna A, learn the language, B, I'm
Fair
definitely
enough.
going to become a citizen
That's true. If you want to be
immediately.
there.
Immediately. If I have a green card, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to establish it. So I don't know. I think this is something that's going on. And another thing that I was thinking about,
Okay.
a lot of people saying, they believe that World War III is coming,
Oh,
and they
yes.
feel as though that World War III is coming. Get out. Let me say what I believe. If we have a World War III and it gets bad, the
Hmm.
whole world gonna get bad.
Yeah.
At least
Get
75% of it.
Yeah, it'll be a hard place to find a place not to get hit.
Where and if that should be where we become a world war and you have Americans staying in that country, I would get the hell out.
Hmm.
What do you think?
Yes, most definitely.
And I hope that it doesn't come down to it, because this is just going to seem like this is just going to be another endless war. And my fear is a bomb or something is going to strike our soil.
Mm.
I hope not, and
Yes.
that's my fear,
Hmm.
because of the conditions that we are under. So
Yes.
yes, along with these countries, a lot of Americans are asked to leave other countries for various reasons. And for what I understand, if they just don't like you or you look suspicious, or they could just ask you to leave.
Hmm.
So that's just going on. So what do you have to say to that?
Yeah, it's surprising that it's not, like I said at the very beginning, it's not, it's just it's surprising that it's not just like a us America thing, that other countries
Yes,
are having this
definitely.
problem, which is also kind of concerning why people are trying to illegally get into other countries, period.
Right.
But
But if I were to go, I want to do the right channels. Now, here it is another thing. In our country, we have severe crisis that's going on in our country. Severe crisis. I saw, uh, um, I don't remember a news podcast
okay.
that said that these states that I'm about to name, that these states would be in critical condition.
Okay.
Okay. Illinois, New Jersey, Connecticut, Kentucky, Louisiana, Pennsylvania, California, Arizona, Maryland,
Oh.
Alaska. I was like, really? And the reasons are drought, floods, agriculture collapse,
I could see that.
for California and others, housing, healthcare, safety, for Maryland, houses, jobs, DC legislations that, because Maryland must get a lot, and if DC ain't doing, I guess they stumble and fall. In Alaska, it's cuts to schools, which is all over, and healthcare and 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 infraction. What's that word? I can't see my glasses on.
Infrastructure.
Thank you. I couldn't see it. Infrastructure and infrastructures like roads and buildings or whatever it is. But they said that power supplies. This is in Alaska. Basic needs in schools. They are suffering, and it's so hard to know that it's going on when you're living a life of comfort. You're not living a rich life, but you're comfortable. Your bills are being met. Your belly is being fed. You drink what you want. You hang out when you want. You go out when you want. You don't feel it. And it just seems like the United States is, to me, from a looking at it, look like it's falling apart.
It does look like that if you look close enough.
Especially with the immigration and with what is that, ICE? First of all, ICE is just doing their job.
Yes.
What they workers, what they're paid to do by the government. So I don't know. But I don't know. And I guess I don't know. I don't know. A lot of times people think I pick sides. I really don't. I say what I feel. I say what I think. And it's not predicated on what either party, because be clear, I don't trust the government. I just
Facts.
don't. And like we're going through all this, and in about another 2.5 years, there's going to be another president ensue, and then what? Then you got to have a president to come in and clean up after the other president, and it's just a mess. And at the end of the day, far as I'm concerned, the people, we don't really have a choice.
No, not at all.
And I believe what brought the infrastructure down in this country, greed.
Definitely 100%.
This is just greed.
Greedy.
Greed.
A 7 deadly sin at that.
Greed. And I think it's for many countries. Greed takes over and the people suffer. And with all these alien sightings and all these phenomena happenings and UFOs, I think something is on the horizon. I don't know if I'll live to see it, but I know something is on the horizon when it comes to that. Maybe what's on the horizon is these other forces out in the universe are saying, they could see or know what's about to happen, and maybe they will intervene and
Yes.
stop this.
Yes, true divine intervention.
Divine intervention. It may not be what we like,
Right.
you know, or maybe they'll come back and I don't know. I don't know, but like I said, I don't trust nothing, and I don't put nothing past anything. That's where I am. What about you, baby Crown?
Yes, most definitely. I feel as though that if we did so have happen to have an alien intervention or an earth intervention, it, honestly, they say when the universe makes the decision for you, sometimes you're just not going to like it because it's not the option you would have chose.
Absolutely. So that's my take on it. And I just feel like I'm a citizen with no say. I mean, they force their medicine on you.
Mm-hmm.
If you sick and you say you don't want to take it, they make you feel bad for not taking it. It's like the pharmaceutical companies and their greed and power. It's just the way it is. And I just accept it because believe me, for me, I can't do anything about it.
No.
If I know something, hear something, I'm going to sound an alarm like I'm doing now. You know, it's up to the people to believe.
Yes.
But it's hard to believe that America is really in a crisis, the United States, if you live in a vida loca.
That's true. But
You don't want nothing. You can keep laughing, smiling, and doing everything until
it affects you.
Until it affects you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Mm-hmm. So we might can get into this a little bit later. What is our next topic, baby Crown?
Yes. Now
we outside. If you see me flailing, it's because of these bugs. But go ahead.
Yes.
We got a lot to talk about. So if at any time you're watching and you want to call and give an opinion or the lines are open for you.
Yeah. I didn't run this by you, but I just wanted to mention it because I feel like I guess it
I love your eye makeup.
Oh, thank you.
It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Surprisingly, I didn't mean to make it this dark today.
It looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like this is something that needs to be mentioned since we're speaking about the state of this country. Mm-hmm. Apparently, recently in Texas, there was a huge child ring that was discovered.
Oh, what do you mean? What's a child's ring?
Like sex trafficking.
Trafficking. Okay.
Yes, trafficking. Yes. Apparently, it was 109 minors that was found. 200
well, on a truck or where?
No, different locations.
Wow.
Yes, 240 people have been arrested that was involved in this. Some of them were police and some of them were others. However, the most interesting part is majority of those children that had gone missing wasn't even registered or told to the police that they were missing.
Sorry, go ahead.
So that's frightening and terrifying because it really shows you that these children that they do pick to traffic, they pick children that apparently will not go missing. Nobody would send out an alert to go search for this person. Mm-hmm. So it's just really frightful.
I know how I deal with that.
It's just really frightful. So you really got to protect your children out here. That's what I got right there.
Thanks, baby Crones.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome.
You hear the bird?
Yes, nature. So let's get down to some court cases.
Okay.
Yes. First off, let's start off with the Diddy case because that's always the most important one.
That has taken over the media for a month.
It has. Mm-hmm. So allegedly Thursday there was no trial day because one of the jurors had called out he had vertigo, so he had let them know, so they didn't hold a court that day because they was down a juror.
You mean to tell me he had vertigo and it only lasts for a day? Vertigo don't last like that. If you have vertigo, it lasts.
Bad enough, I heard he was on his way driving there and started having vertigo and turned back around. Like, how you drive with vertigo?
You can't. Because any sudden movement of the head, you feel like you're tilting.
It didn't even
So,
sour, but
and it take,
anyway.
and you have, unless he's on medication, but
True.
I don't know if it could go away overnight. It could.
It
I don't
could.
know. I've had vertigo, and it's scary, and it's awful, and I had to stay like this
Yeah,
because if I
exactly.
turned my head, I kept feeling like I was falling over.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know. And I had medicine that helped me, but it didn't help me in a day. It eased it up, but it didn't help me.
Got you. So yeah, and then Thursday and then Friday there was no trial day because that was Juneteenth. So therefore there was no court hearing that day. And then that following day they did have an next trial. So will they make it to July 4th, their
Mhm.
expected date that they are expecting to finish this trial case? I'm not quite sure. However, what we did hear was some interesting Cassie video, not video, but audio. Man, Cassie
She
was,
had gangster in her.
yeah, for real. She got the Diddy up in her. She was just,
She like, I know I can have you off. She didn't
yes.
say that, but
Uh-uh.
she alluded to it.
Yes, she did. She was just like, I don't even have to have the blood on my hands. I'll get somebody else to do
That
it.
is cocky, but like I said, these are my opinions. And like I said before, I don't know how you can stay in a relationship. I don't care how abusive it is in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these women stayed in this relationship for the money
Yes.
and the prestige of it. That is the same thing I have to say about R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women do it for the money.
They do.
They want that money, they want that fame,
Mm-hmm.
they want it. Oh, sorry. They want
Bugs.
that fame, they want that money, they want it. And to me, I feel sorry,
Mm-hmm.
but I just feel as though it's an underworld of sexual deviant. I don't
Yes.
know if it's deviant, but let me change the word. There is it could, some of it can be, but I see now that our black men has gotten involved in some kinky sex.
They have.
And I know that it's because of Hollywood going to these outlandish parties, hanging out with these white men or foreigners,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because maybe the white men got it from the foreigners,
Yep. Again, exposed to different
being
cultures.
exposed to different cultures, falling into something. And now, because not only has blacks got pulled over,
Yep.
Harvey Weinstein, it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them.
Yep.
Not a lot, but it's God dang it. Excuse me. Keep talking.
Okay. So, yeah, it's amazing how many people are. Sorry. It's amazing how many people are getting involved. Like I mentioned earlier about that ring. It's just amazing how people with money, power, authority is able to take privilege and take
There we go.
advantage over other people.
Try me, bugs.
So because of that, with the Harvey Weinsteins, the Bill Cosbys, the R. Kellys, I could name down the list.
What about the guy that offed himself?
Wasn't that Harvey Weinstein?
It was one, I don't
Oh,
remember.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein. So this
Yep.
stuff is going on, and it's still going on. And I
Still.
don't know how you're going to eradicate it. And speaking of the Diddy case, I just don't see anything that has to deal with trafficking.
No.
I see that, yeah, he paid for girls to come over for the freak offs.
Which is by technicality.
But I
they're
mean, I
crossing
can
states.
have a date with a man and he could say, I'll pay for your plane fare for you to come and come visit and spend a weekend. I mean, I have declined that because I don't feel safe going to another state or another country. I don't feel safe going to another state. Excuse me. I don't
So
feel
what you
safe
do?
going to another state or another country with someone that I just met or barely know.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't do that. And I have been offered that to come up. I'll send you a plane ticket. You can come up. You can spend the weekend. You
Yeah.
can bring your friend.
That's the
You
girl's
know,
dream, to be flown out.
not by a stranger. Sorry. And or I never taken that,
Hmm.
but I have been offered that a couple of times. Come here and I'll pay for every no, I decline. So, and obviously I'm assuming that the men that did this had money
Money.
because of the way that they look, the way
Yep.
they dress. I've definitely had that in my life where men have offered me. Just a few years ago, I had someone to offer me to come up to New York. I pay your fare, get here, you can have a good time. Blah, I declined those offers. So I don't know. What do you think, Baby Clown?
Yeah, like that's just honestly American culture. It's to live that big lavish lifestyle, to have a sugar daddy, somebody that's going to pay your way, and you get to. That's exactly what Portia Williams wanted, a meal, not a meal ticket, but a luxury ticket.
And for me, I am petrified of hepatitis. I am frightened of AIDS. I am scared of any STDs, even crabs. So I don't even feel safe.
Hmm.
So when these girls do these freak offs,
Yes.
I I don't trust a condom because they can burst. I just I don't know what kind of female. If you need to spray over there, just help yourself.
Oh no, I'm good. Thank you though.
Okay. Um, I don't know what kind of females that want to even participate in that. And I don't care how young they are. If you over the age of 18,
Yes.
you are consensual.
Mm-hmm.
You can pack up, leave your mama's house. You
Yep.
could do what you want. And we're making excuses. It's like we say, well, she was only 18. She was only 20. Yeah, she's young, but she's grown.
Yeah.
She's grown to make decisions. She
Yep.
may not be grown enough to sit in a bar and order a drink, but
That's
she's
true.
grown enough to drop out of school. She's grown enough to live on her own. She's grown enough. Even at 16, you can get what is that called?
A permit?
You
No.
can get no. You can get acclimation. I can't think of the word.
Oh.
Um, to live on your own. I'm sorry, I can't think of the name right now.
Yes, it's slipping me too. I know exactly what you're
I just
talking
can't
about.
think of the word. Proximation? Is it proximate?
Emancipation.
Emancipation
There we
to
go.
live on your own at 16,
Hmm.
maybe 15. So,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
can't.
honestly, in some countries too, their legal age is 16. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, I, that
Excuse me.
I guess it's just each country to their own and how they want to view when you're
Do
considered
me a favor.
mature.
That mosquito's going to come over to you, so you need to spray it.
Okay, that wasn't my choice. Here you
Thank
go.
you.
You're welcome.
You just wanted enough for it to skedaddle.
Hmm.
But go ahead, baby clown.
Yes. So some other court cases out there. Speaking of people being taken advantage of and being a part of that lifestyle, Derek Dixon wants to sue Tyler Perry for $260 million.
And the prices that people are
Suing
suing for
for.
are outlandish, outrageous,
It's
and
ridiculous.
absolutely. Now, this is what I feel about them, the same way I feel about the women. You are there. You know this man is hitting on you.
Mm-hmm.
We both know what it's like to be hit on
Yes, ma'am.
by a man. He hitting on you. You feel it instinctively that
Mm-hmm.
he wants you. Why are you taking his money? Why? Because you want to be in that movie.
Yeah.
Why? Because you want fame and you want fortune. You may not want what he's offering, but you're going to tease around.
Mm-hmm.
You done played in movies, especially this white guy and the other guy.
Yep.
But
Well.
I believe the other guy was paid off.
Oh, okay.
Keith,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember his name, light skinned guy, but I tell you that Keith and this Dixon guy,
Yeah.
Derek is his name.
Yep, Derek.
What is it?
Derek Dixon.
Derek Dixon. Those they resemble in looks. So we have a type.
Tyler does have a type.
He have a type, and he wants to pay them to be his boy toy, and they want the money, but they don't want to be beholden. And from what I understand, he want them to have relationships.
Oh, so he likes them DL fellas.
Right. I want you to have a relationship, but when I call you, I want you to show up. I couldn't be in nothing like that. You couldn't pay me enough.
Yeah,
No, I
won't
just
be a
couldn't.
beard.
I don't want to be in a relationship with a man that when you call me, I don't care what the money is. I just hope that I never live in a space, and I know many people do, where you hand them out. I don't want that. I don't. And I just don't know. I just don't know how this is going to go. I just feel as though, Tyler, you need to stop.
You really do.
Just stop it.
It's not looking good for you,
Let's
bro.
just stop. You got to stop it. Like, stop. Behave. I mean, like I said, it's an epidemic. These men and women out here with money,
Yep.
they have power, and they do these things. And I think Tyler, I think he covers himself. I think he only do but so much, and what he know he could get away with. And I think that he toys with them. I really do. And I think that fame and power, and that's what money does. When you have money, you can feel invincible. You feel like you can do anything. I'm not talking about coins. If you could just have 3 million and you living good, money make you feel like you are God.
That's true.
Believe that. I'm talking about money. I mean, even people that's making 6 and 7 figures feel like that.
That's true.
Driving their fancy cars and this. But like I think greed rules the world now. Greed. And that's from every culture to every race. That's what I think. What do you think, baby Crones?
Yes, greed and money.
Well, that's what greed is.
Yep, and attention. Be greedy for anything.
I can get what I want just about.
Yep.
You know, it can't buy me love, but it can buy me temporary love.
Yep. It can.
You know, it can buy me friends.
Or temporary friends.
Temporary friends. So, but as long as I have money, you know, if I want to be around a lot of people, I can pay for that. What do you think, baby?
Yes, that is true.
So that's the beast. You know, not the money, but the people that has it. They can do what they want. They have the power, and they money. Money. But money makes the world go round. So what can you do?
That is true. It does keep it turning. Now, the next court case that we have to talk about is Kevin Hunter, allegedly now standing up for Wendy Williams.
Get the hell out of here, Kevin.
And suing for $250 million.
In this condition because of you.
Isn't that ironic?
He said, I don't want no parts of him. He ain't going to win. She probably said, the hell with that ninja. I don't want nothing. Ugh. Kevin, you done had a baby. Now you and Selena, what's her name?
Sabrina
done broke up. Of course she was going to leave after getting good.
Yeah, that was true. You were struggling
to pay your bills. She done had a baby. She got your baby. She don't want you. You ain't got nothing. You're a big headache for her now. You fool. That's what you get. Foolish. Silly rabbit. The best thing you ever had was Wendy.
Yes.
And now you lost it, and you haven't been able to get over it since.
No.
Because you thought you had Sabrina. But everybody knew she was there for the ride. Ride's over. She says, I'm out. She said, I hung as long as I could, but she's out. And you know, she could have got a job. She could have worked. She could have done a lot of things. She bought a business. It didn't work. You know, just
business after business.
So,
yeah. However, somebody out here speaking of not quite court cases, but somebody who is in prison / the hospital, R. Kelly.
Oh,
Yes, that was sad and shocking to even hear that possibly happened.
it did happen. And they saying that the guards or somebody hooking him up and trying to really take his life. And he OD'd. That's scary.
That
and
is.
his lawyer is using that to probably try to get him to get out of prison. But go to a new prison, I don't think it'll get him out.
Sure, we'll probably move prisons, but right, not get him out.
And those women, many of those women was with him without parents' consent, and a lot of them was with it for the fame and the fortune.
Yes, again, another one.
Another one. Oh, and speaking of Fat Joe.
Oh yes, Fat Joe.
Oh my God! Now you know I'm done.
Another
I
lawsuit.
am fit to be tied with Fat Joe.
Yeah, forgot about him and his lawsuit.
Fat Joe. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Nobody's clean in Hollywood.
I'm done. I'm done. But I gotta skip, and I gotta say something. Now you got all the court cases out there.
Yes, all the court cases.
But on a lighter note, I'm just gonna go somewhere just to. I don't even want to comment on Fat Joe. I'm just sad by all of this. Even with Diddy, I'm just saddened by it all. Yeah. But just lighten up the mood. Jay-Z finally showed Sir.
Yes, that is true.
It was a little Baby, can you put the video up?
Okay, yes, I will.
It was a little but they showed him. And I heard that he is autistic. That's what I heard.
Got you. Well,
so that was good news. I wanted to put some
yeah, yeah, about time finally we heard.
Right.
Something.
Cute little boy.
Yeah, most definitely.
But it was so quick. They didn't keep it on him, but if you blink, you missed it.
Don't blink.
You could put that video up just so those that haven't can see it. It's a quick blink of him, but nevertheless, that was something. They showed that he can stand and that he can move. He's not an invalid.
Yes, true. I do like that. However, let's talk about Shawnee Henderson and how she already had this back tattoo, but she wanted to repurpose it and redesign it. So she got a tattoo cover up, and the church it's
on one side of her whole back. Is absolutely beautiful.
It is beautiful, but no, it's not very church like.
I gave you a scripture that says something about it.
The Leviticus 19:28.
That says we ought not to do that to our bodies.
Let me see if I took a screenshot. I don't know if
that's true or not. I have no idea. But do you have it?
No, I can look it up.
Okay, that's okay. And Leviticus, I forgot it, but I pulled it up. And it was talking about things like that. So I don't know. I think for her to be a church wife, last time I heard they were getting a divorce.
Here's the quote. Okay. It says, "You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord."
And that came from Leviticus?
Yes, 19:28.
And that's the book of the law. Now, whether that's an effect or not, I don't know. Christians believe that God says, I change not. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. That's what Christians believe now, and Jews. So I don't know, but I know many Jews that have tattoos. Now, I don't know. I like I said,
right.
I don't know, but for her to be a church woman, I do think that she oversteps a little.
She do.
But that's just who she is.
Yes.
I thought they were getting a divorce.
Let me see.
Because the church is upset.
They are.
Does she get back with her husband? Or does she still go to his church?
She has divorced him. Yes, that is true.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know why
they're still upset.
I don't know why they care. That's what I was saying. I don't care. I don't care why. It made news and saying that the churches, why do you care?
Wow, that's
Why?
crazy.
They're no longer together.
No.
So that's what I thought. But we just brought you the news anyway.
Yeah.
Johnny, do you?
Yeah, for real, for real.
Beautiful tattoo work.
It definitely was.
Deep dark colors, absolutely gorgeous.
Now, this is quite interesting. Speaking of, I should have brought this up when we talked about Sir Carter. However, the Grammys have decided to alter their country album of the year category. So now it's going to be two categories. One for contemporary country, which is country of modern day times, and then there's classical.
Go ahead, keep talking.
Then there's
I'm outside with bugs.
I understand.
Sorry.
And then there's classical country, which is your traditional country. So this way, this solves the outrage that fans have had about Beyonce winning Best Country Album when she's not country. So they're just like, fine, we'll make two albums in Beyonce's
Not two albums,
two categories. Yes. So that way we can honor those that have dipped into.
So is this the country people doing it or just?
Yeah, the Grammys. Okay. It's the
Okay.
Grammys that did this. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that one alone. So, speaking of marriages and people in the light news, we have Will Smith, speaking of divorces, and Jada Pinkett.
I read on that. I knew, but I thought that they might work it out because they said they will never part from one another.
They did.
But when I saw Will Smith on the stage with that singer, I knew it was over. I never seen Will Smith
do
anything like that, and good for them. Their marriage has been over for a very long time. I could see if they lived together in the same house.
Yes.
They live together in different homes. And I may be wrong, but I don't see Will marrying again. I don't see him marrying again. Too much of his life is out in the public. From what I understand, he's bisexual.
Yeah.
You know, which speaks a lot about his son Jaden.
Yeah.
You know, and his daughter.
And his daughter Will Smith. Yeah, Willow.
That's a freaky family, but they got freaky genes. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's true.
That's a real freak off family.
Yes.
You know,
you ain't never lie.
So I'm, in a way, I'm sad to see that they didn't honor it.
Yes.
Because I thought that they could make it work. But I guess at the end of the day, I'm just tired of the pretense. I guess Will, because he filed. And normally Will don't file. He'll allow the women to file. But I guess he says, I'm up to here with Jada. And she's gone. And they're filing a divorce. And I knew that when they were selling their homes and doing all of that. And now the word is out. The word is out.
Maybe that's why Willow was crying.
I said that.
Yes, you did. You did.
That's why. But it was a piece about it because they showed her crying, but all at the same time they showed her making music too. So I knew that that was a subliminal message. You know, it's got to be sad.
Yes.
You've been together, y'all worked it out this long, but enough is enough. And I truly believe that they have issues within themselves. That they try to cure with themselves. But the big issue that I think with Jada, I think she loved Will, but I don't think she was in love with Will.
Okay.
I do believe she loved him. I do believe that. But I believe that she got pregnant, and I believe that that changed the trajectory of their relationship. And I feel as though I just feel as though Will don't satisfy her sexually. That's what I think. So, and that's my story. That's their story that I share.
Yeah, that's been the rumor
so
on the
these
street.
are the things that's been going on in the past week or so that's been making news.
Yes. Speaking of divorces, yet again, man, we're on the divorce chain. Kim Zolciak her and her husband to marriage to Corey, their divorce had gotten dismissed
because they want to try to work it out again. And I'm always for it. I'm always for that.
That's true, but they're another couple that's always just quick to go divorce and then be like, oh wait, never mind, I don't want a divorce. I'm like, then don't be so quick to run, go get divorce papers.
They were hating each other. They had the police at their house, and now they don't have a house. And then also on the show with their daughter, she says that her mom stole her money. Kim stole a lot of her money.
Yes.
And not only that, she says she's still asking her for money.
Hey, listen, Kim has a gambling problem last time I heard. So
really,
yes,
such a shame.
That was one of the main reasons why they were struggling to pay for their housing.
So. She said, I'm gonna get enough. I'm going to get enough, and I'm going to put back everything I borrowed, and I'm going to put more. And yeah, you done lost everything.
Yeah, that is true.
Such a sad tale.
It is, sadly.
Bravo. That'll come back on the Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah.
If she wants to.
If she wants to.
Now find something for her.
Right.
Ow. You've been bit.
I have. So in sadder news, speaking of networks, on the Food Network, there was a chef named.
Don't forget her picture.
Yes, Anne Burrell, and she had
Anne Burrell, right? Anne Burrell. She's been with the Food Network. She's a white woman with gray hair. I remember her. She seemed very masculine, but she's not. She's a female. She's, was married, and she died in her Brooklyn apartment from a heart attack. Such a shame. Yes. Such a shame. And our condolences go out to her family and friends who loved her very much.
Yes. Moving right on along, all these bugs. The last thing that we have to talk about in news, surprisingly, at least we get to end it off on something excellent to talk about, was the fact that Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras auditioned on America's Got Talent.
Yes. He was very good.
Amazing.
Very, very good. What was the song he sang? Was it When Chain on Me? Take a day. Was that it?
I know.
I'll be yours. I don't know the melody of it. I forgot the song he sang.
I can pull that up because
you can't play it.
No, I can't, but I'll figure out. Interestingly enough, let's talk about. He says that him and his band are cover artists.
Yeah, they do cover. They do music that has already been out there, and they're good. They're very good, very good. They could make a good play at a wedding, a bar mitzvah. They're good. A club.
He did perform "Take Me On."
Take me on, take me on.
Yeah, they was amazing. I love their energy.
And Simon Cowell was like,
he was.
I was. And at the beginning, the girls were saying, one of the women was saying, I don't know. And she said, yeah, well, Ariana. First of all, he was never married to Ariana.
Can we please let
that was go? A relationship that broke up.
It did ruin his life, though.
And for what? Over Ariana? A lesbian? Bisexual? Allegedly. I can't. She let Lala box her and while Sandoval drove. So that's why I said I don't understand, like all these, like even on Atlanta, and after you got all these women freaking and doing, I don't understand what this is.
I don't know. Maybe there's a spirit of lust on the planet too.
All right, you go ahead. We know it is. That's a deadly. So So
lust and greed rules the earth.
And greed and vanity.
Oh yes, can't forget those narcissists out
there.
Lust,
greed, and vanity, and of course wrath.
Oh yes, can't forget all the violence out there.
Those four.
It just sounds like the more we talk about it, we're ruled by the devil.
Right. But, speaking of devils, I heard that What's the blonde guy? He's cute. He was married to Angelina Jolie.
Uh,
Oh,
Brad
Brad
Pitt.
Pitt. I heard Brad Pitt has turned over to Satanism.
Oh,
You know,
interesting.
now, a lot of people may think that's satanic, but it's just that they don't believe in God. They believe in their God.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a religion, like all religions. It's a religion, but I heard that that he converted over to Satanism.
Mm.
Wow, it's amazing what bad marriages, bad relationships, they just mess you up. You just go in a crazy direction.
You do.
But if he went in that direction, he went there for a reason.
That's true. Something was in him to seek and search for
And
something.
and
there.
maybe it worked.
Yeah,
Maybe
true.
it worked. I mean, isn't that the Baphomet?
Yes, that is Baphomet.
That's the Baphomet. And the Baphomet really isn't a bad symbol at all. But that's not what I want to get into. But I did hear that. Everything we're saying is allegedly.
Yes.
But that's what we heard. Anything else?
Yes, I forgot to mention this earlier. Back to Beyonce again. On her tour in Paris, she had Miley Cyrus as a guest star in her Cowboy Carter tour. Yes, and Miley Cyrus debuted a new song that she's getting ready to release.
Was it nice?
Yeah.
I gotta see it. Oh, and speaking of relationships, from what I understand, I don't know how true it is, but Ariana Grande and
Ethan Slater
has broke up. We knew that wasn't gonna last. Cause Ariana Grande don't stick with no man, black, white. She stick with no one. A few years and she's out.
Yeah, she's trying to find that love
for a petite thing. She powerful.
She is.
So
careful of the Arianas.
But I don't know how true it is, but I definitely heard by not one source, but about two sources. I've heard that. So it could be true. I mean, we went to look it up and it was like no word yet because they wanted her. She's getting ready to do a movie.
Okay.
I don't know if it's Wicked 2 or I don't know, but I know that they wanted her to wait till after the promo before she announced it. So we'll see. We'll see. I hope they didn't, but if they did, see, like you all know, I'm for couples, and I believe that you can work it out. It takes a lot. It's good to see that. What's her name? Billy Bronco.
Oh, yeah. Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez.
They're still hitting it.
They are. They are.
First, I thought because he was caught out on a date with someone, with one of her friends. So it's good to see that they are still making it. I like them together. I do. They kind of odd. He's kind of quirky, but that's what she needs for her dryness. Yes. She comes off very, very dry to me. Very dry and very nasally. Very, she needs umph. And I think he's the umph in her life.
Got you.
So anything else? Oh, and thinking about that, just in case you don't know, Hailey Bieber, she just got a lot of money from a makeup. Not makeup.
Her skincare.
Cosmetic skincare line. She turned her into $1 billion. And the person that made her, who was behind this, was a black man.
Oh, okay.
So I want to throw that out there since we're throwing out news.
Okay.
Anything else? The riots that are happening in New York, they're still happening. I think they're in Chicago going through things. So it's a lot of things going on. The prices are going up. We all know. But will there be a war? I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. And is there anything else you want to talk about? Because we got all the news.
Yeah, I think we got all the news. I'm trying to think, is there anything that slipped by me that I heard about?
I don't know. Although Ashante and
oh yes, Nelly.
Their show is coming on the 26th, which I'm excited to see. I will be watching and I will be commentating. We will be
Yes, most
commentating.
definitely.
So you heard anything about well, we know we talked about Portia, but
Yes.
my thing with Portia is you want a case, but you want a big fat bill. So at the end of the day,
She
you want
did.
nothing at all. Who's gonna pay your lawyer? They can't make him pay. He's not in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And even if he was, all they can do is garnish your check. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can't,
Yeah.
so what did she win?
I'm not sure because I think
The
there was,
house.
yeah, but I think there's also some battle about custody or paying child support, something like that.
I heard that she had paid child support for Simon's kids. Is
Ah,
that true? I don't know. That's what I heard. So that's allegedly.
got you.
So I don't know. So did we cover everything?
I feel like we
Everything
covered
that
everything.
I heard, I'm creeping over and I'm
No, I'm
looking in the
trying to
back of
think.
my mind, and I don't know of anything else.
Yeah, I think we got everything.
Although they're talking about it's supposed to be a very, very hot summer. So
Yes.
please stay dehydrated.
Hydrated.
Please take care of yourself. If you're on medication, it says stay out the heat, stay out the heat. Pregnant women, please be careful of the heat. Elderly, be careful of the heat. For everyone else, be careful of the heat.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Most definitely. Yep, we definitely got
we done
everything.
covered everything, you know. So I guess we have a few more minutes to spare. Was that on an hour?
Yes.
Okay. So we have a few more minutes to spare. I don't know what else to talk about. Um, Children, are they out of school or they will be getting out of school,
Uh,
other than those that go all year long?
that's true. They definitely should be out because it's June
Yeah, they
21st.
should be out of school
Yeah,
by
yeah,
now.
it's summer
It's summertime, so
officially.
they out of school. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. That's
That's
all,
all,
folks.
folks. Yeah.
So we hope that you enjoyed this news recap of what's going on. Just a brief news cap of what's going on. We just wanted to come outside and do it live like we always do. You
Yes.
know, and we'll be doing more coming out, and we'll be doing lives. And even though nobody called them, we still stay hopeful. We don't
do.
give no warnings about when we
No.
coming, so we don't really expect anyone to show up. But what to our amazing, people do watch it,
Yes,
and
that's
that
true.
makes me happy. Um, what would I like to leave this on? Pray for the United States of America.
Yes, please.
Pray for us as a people, all of us.
Yes.
Those that are legal and non legal.
Yes.
Prayers go up for all of us. May God save and bless America. What
Hmm.
did you want to say?
Yes, you reminded me about at a recent baseball game, there was a woman who had sung the
Yes.
national anthem in Spanish.
They begged her not to do it. A young girl. She
Hmm.
was a YouTuber, got famous, and they begged her not to do it. And she did it anyway at the Dodgers game, I think.
Yes.
They begged her not to do it. And honestly, you I don't that's the United States. I don't think that if I go to Guatemala that I should sing their national anthem in my language.
Hmm.
I think that's just a little too much. Just as I think people burning the American flag. I think that's too much. I
Hmm.
think it's too much. These are my opinions. I think it's too much when you say you are a citizen. Why are you calling the flag of your where you say you don't want to be? Why are you carrying a flag of a country? You're in this country. Why are you supporting that country? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But that's what we have. So go figure. You know, I don't know. But we are into the summer, and
Hmm.
we hope that you all have a wonderful,
And safe.
safe, blessed summer.
Yes.
Because you never know. Because this fall, we might be under, what is that?
Martial law.
Martial law. We don't know from one state from one state of consciousness to the next state where we are.
Mm-hmm.
We're living in crazy times
We
here
are.
in America. And a lot of people are leaving. A lot of people, no color, just a lot of people are leaving. As
Mm-hmm.
for me and my house, baby Cone, we're
Yes.
going to stay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to stay?
Yes, we do.
And if I did want to leave, if things got really, really bad, we'll just be up Schitt's Creek without a paddle.
Yeah, you're right. I think in a way it's both a blessing and a curse to be in the DMV area because you're so close to DC, so you're both safe and a target at the same time. Sorry for that loud volume, guys. But you're both safe and a target at the same time because whatever happens to DC is ultimately going to fall over in the Maryland and Virginia area as well.
That's the truth. And Delaware, probably.
Yep, Delaware too. Maybe even New Jersey. I'm not sure if
And
New Jersey
I
too.
don't know how far, but I know that it's this is just I just don't want I don't want a war because of the weaponry. I don't want a war. I don't want a war. We're already in a war with the illegals
Yes.
and the Hispanics.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't want a war. I don't want a war. I don't want a war with anyone. But what do I say? There are a lot of things that's going on that we know nothing about. So for me, because I don't know, and everything I know in a little bit, because that's all they're going to share. So no matter who's in the White House chair, I just have to trust that the president, whoever it is, white,
Mm-hmm.
black, Hispanic,
Yeah.
Jewish, whether they are um, male, female, I
Mm-hmm.
hope that whoever's in the chair next
Yes.
or whenever have the American people best interests at heart.
Yes.
That's all I hope for.
Mm-hmm.
In spite of how ugly things are now, I hope that it's being done for the sake of us all,
Yes.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I don't want the cartel running this country. And
Any
the
cartel.
homeless epidemic, like I named those states,
Oh,
Illinois, New Jersey, the
yes.
homelessness is
Yes.
horrible. Even in Maryland,
Yep.
it's hard.
Homeless
Homeless.
are turning into squatters now.
Oh. And you can't get these squatters out your house. You got to go through something. I'm so glad that I gave up my rental house because it was a beautiful house.
It
I would
was.
hate that someone would
Um.
swat in my house
Mm-hmm.
and not pay.
Yep. Or
That would be
rented
terrible.
out for gang related crimes.
Oh my God, no. So, whew, well, that's a way to end it. On a
Yes.
positive note, they did show Sir Beyonce baby with his little twin sister, and
Yes.
she hugged him and kissed him, and he wiped his, it was just so adorable. So, anyway, with that, we hope you enjoyed this
Yes.
news recap. I
Uh.
hope you enjoyed us sitting
I do have one
outside.
more thing.
I hope you enjoyed us sitting outside as we get tore up by these bugs,
For real.
acting like we're in their territory. We're on our back porch. Okay?
Yes, we
The
are.
nerve. Go ahead, baby girl.
Yes, speaking of Beyonce's children, Northwest just recently had a birthday and she turned 12.
And look like she's 17. And even though they say she looks too old, I still feel the same way about
About Blue.
Blue. I don't care what nobody say. Blue look like she's 18 years old. Even though when Beyonce dressed her, she dressed her in pants. She still, it's just, I
It's
don't
the
know.
makeup, the way she carries herself.
She's a beautiful girl.
Yes, most
But I
definitely.
never thought that she was ugly at all.
No.
So I never thought that. So, and I think that y'all shouldn't make fun of little babies, but
No, children are
each
supposed to
his
be off
own.
table.
They grow up and they grow into their looks.
That's true.
Some babies that was real cute when they were baby, they grow up to be not so cute. And some babies that I never thought that she was an ugly baby. So I just thought she looked like her father. And still do.
Still do.
And still do. But she definitely looked like Beyonce. And I heard, and I don't believe this is true, that Beyonce had her face Shade down. I
Ah,
don't believe that's true, but it could be. Who knows? Because her face is more narrow, but she's a slender woman,
that's
a
true.
slender young girl, and so she's growing up in that. So, what would she be at 13? In the 8th grade, in the 7th grade?
Let's see. I think so.
While Kim Kardashian grown daughter would be in the 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
They're young to me.
They are. They're
I
still in
think
middle
they
school.
dressing them, and I still feel this way about Beyonce. I mean, you don't want to put on Bobby
Yep, the
socks,
6th and 7th grade.
6th and 7th grade. That's young to me, but that's their parents, and they can do what they want with their children, as you can do what you want with yours. And on that, I think we've said all that needs to be said.
Yes.
And again, thank you.
Yes. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give this a thumbs up.
Please give it a
Please.
thumbs up.
Yes. And share this with anyone that will like the news that we covered in this. Or if you want to update somebody, keep them abreast on what's going on in the world around us. We definitely give you guys a lot of information to digest and nibble on. So with that being said, please subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment.
Please.
Yes.
And we hope you enjoyed this recap as we sit outside and bring you the weekly news. And with that being
Yes.
said, you know what we say.
Mm-hmm.
We know you know we love you,
Yep.
and you know what we say.
Mm-hmm. Sunflowers.